Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everybody. It's March, and that can mean only one thing. It's time for MARCHintosh again. And this year, I've decided to take part, and what I've got is really interesting. Check it out. So, for my MARCHintosh entry, I've chosen to take a look at my LC475. Now, I will use the names Performa 475 and LC475 interchangeably, just a heads up. I bought this back in January of 2018 for a total of £50, though I haven't actually done anything with it since. I got it at the time because it interested me. It was the last of the pizza box Macs and is an example of Apple equipment that, up until now, I've not really had any contact with. Most things I've dealt with have been more modern. Let's go over some specs really quick. This Mac was brought out in October of 1993 and discontinued in October of 1994. It had a Motorola 68LC040, which means it doesn't have an FPU running at 25 MHz. This particular model I have comes with a 160 MB hard drive, yeah, that's right, 160 MB, as well as a 1.44 MB floppy. As far as RAM goes, it has 4 MB built onto the board, though it can take up to 132. As for VRAM, it has 512 KB on 2 sticks. Originally this would have come with System 7.1, though it can take up to macOS 8.1, which is the last, incidentally, operating system that will work on 68K Macs. So with that out of the way, let's have a closer look. Okay, so I've got it in shot as best as I possibly can. This is about, from where my camera is mounted, this is as far out as I can actually go when zoomed in. So let's have a look inside. And this is the LC itself. Now I'm actually really surprised at this. With this being in storage for as long as it has been, it's not been too bad. I mean, I did open it before, you can see that it's just a little bit dusty, but it's really clean. From what I notice here, there's pretty much no cap leakage. The battery hasn't exploded, though this may have actually been changed. The only thing I can see is a little bit of schmutz down here, but that might be because I've taken out the blank plate, which I do have, by the way, so it's not lost. But this is the inside of the LC, and it's really quite clean, even though it's been sort of left in the cupboard for a while. Made in Ireland, apparently. That just came off. So let's have a look around it in a bit more detail on each section so we can have a closer look. So if we look at the back half first, we've got a pretty good view of all that stuff. Now, once again, there's the dust streak. There's not much on there. I mean, I could probably just blow it out with some compressed air. But to the left we have the LCPDS slot. That's the expansion in this particular computer. As I say, there's the battery. I'm honestly really surprised that that has not burst. It may have been changed before I got it, because I got it, as I say, in February of about 2017. So it could have just been replaced right before it got shipped out to eBay. There's the one lone RAM slot, which currently isn't actually populated. I believe this RAM that's pre-installed down here, I think it's like 4 MB or something. And there's the VRAM that we're going to replace, because there's not much in here. I think if I'm right in thinking, it's 256. Could be wrong. Not really sure. And this is the power supply that often is noted as failing quite a lot. So hopefully that's fine, because I don't want it to pop as soon as I turn it on. And at the heart of all this is the CPU. This one's the 68040, or in this case it's the LC040, which it means it lacks an FPU, which we may remedy at some point. Now, I did consider replacing it, but unfortunately I thought, oh, it'll never arrive in time, so I never ordered it, though it definitely would have done. So, well, you live and learn. It's gone now. So there we have our speaker. Apparently it's not that powerful. And there's the floppy as well as the hard drive. Now this may cause us a little bit of a problem, because I want to actually potentially spin this up and probably it'll stick. There's a problem with these in which there's like a bushing when the heads go to park. You might get it started, but if you leave it for any length of time after that, or sometimes even if you've already left it for time, they get stuck and the hard drive will not work again. So possibly we'll start this up once and that'll be it. So hopefully we can get it started at least once so we can have a look on it, and then maybe extract some data if there is any. There's not really much to look at on the middle of the board. I mean, of course there's the fan and a few connectors. But now we've done with the overview, let's have a look at the back section. So let's have a look at the back. Of course you have here the power connector, that's the display, which that is technically kind of VGA, but it uses a DB15 or a DE15. Someone's going to tell me off about that connector, rather than the HD15 as used by VGA. You've got your printer port, your Geo port, you have SCSI, ADB, and your audio connections, and you've got the hole which the LCPDS cards would peek out of. Now the back's not that spectacular to look at, you haven't got all that much. You have a Kensington lock over here, as well as the information on the back, and an outlet for your fan. On here you have your speaker outlet, and this is, oh hang on, wrong side, there's the serial number. So that's about it, so I think we need to try and power this on. I'm actually really intrigued. Ever since having this in 2017, I've never powered this on, so this should be interesting. Come on, 160 megabyte Quantum Pro drive, don't let me down now. Though you probably will. Damn you. Alright, so the lid's back on. So to connect this up, we're going to use this thing, which is my Apple Extended Keyboard 2. First time I'll actually be trying this on a proper Mac, as I had a little converter that came with it that actually makes it work on a PC. It's really bizarre. I've also got an ADB cable to connect it, though it is a little bit kind of short, so, well, it's probably going to have to sit here, to be quite honest with you. To connect this up to a display, I've got this thing, which just converts from the DB15 to the standard VGA. And lastly, to complete the chain, we've got one of these StarTech video adapters. All that really does is it just takes the display signal from VGA and outputs in HDMI to scale it properly. Oh, I almost forgot, we need a mouse to control this thing, so I have one right here in the form of this one. This one's quite interesting because it seems to say Apple service on the side, almost as if it came from like a service provider as like a spare part they sent out or something. And it looks really, really clean. It's almost as if it's never been used. I might even be the first to use it, so that's pretty good. Anyway, I think we need to actually swap angles and then get to looking at this on the display. Okay, so I'm just about ready to plug in. Now, I don't know if the position of this switch is backwards. What we'll have on the screen here is we've got the view of what's going on there, and then there we basically have, hopefully, if I've got the settings right, the video. Okay, it's powered. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, I like that noise. Okay, so there's nothing on screen yet. Let's have a quick check to see everything's online. Getting any video? Don't know that we are. Hold on a sec. Okay, so wouldn't start up at all, and interestingly the keyboard didn't actually show any form of lights on it. So I'm just wondering if it's something inside. Now I did have a look at a guide, and it did state something to the effect of it's you need VRAM, and this guy put some in, he was like, oh yeah, thanks, that helped. But as you can see, the VRAM's in there. Okay, so we're back to the overhead view. Let's take it out. That's interesting. Assembled in Australia, apparently. Nice, okay. There's a second one. I'm just going to try reseating them. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. It's not liking that either. This is kind of crude, you probably can't see that. I might insert some B-roll. But apparently if you flash it on, off, on, it negates the need for a PRAM battery, but no. Okay, I've tried a few things, and I'm on the 68K MLA forums, and there is one post, I mean, I probably should have done this, but it still, I thought would have worked anyway with power cycling very quickly, but it doesn't. And the line literally says here, I'll probably put it up on B-roll, the LC475 requires a new or fresh battery to output video. Probably your issue there. There's also some very discouraging pictures of an LC that's been opened up like its power supply and something's exploded. I'm not going to be able to fix that. I do have a battery, let's put it in. I got this battery quite a while ago, so I don't really know what the condition of it is. That's probably the wrong reason to be putting it in something, but we'll see. Now, how in the hell do I get this open? Hang on. Aha. Made some very discouraging noises there. I mean, it looks kind of identical to this one. So, let's check the polarity. You can probably see it. I mean, I can see it. The +1's at the top. Careful, Stephen. Hey, there we go. There we go. Right, this thing's going to go in the trash as soon as I can. Let's try it again. PRAM battery swapped. Let's have a go. 3, 2, 1. That sounded louder. Oh! Oh, we got a signal. Might have the wrong setting. Hold on. Hey! There we go. Oh, that is beautiful. Let me just turn it off quickly again just so I can have a look. Your clock is not set right. Yeah, no shit. Alright, so I'm just starting it back up again. So we can actually have a little look around. Because I just want, obviously, you know, they look like there was some... Oh, not shut down properly last time it was used. Oh, this mouse is so slow. So we're just going to have a little look. We're not actually going to do much because, yep, I expected this. Somebody had their CV on the desktop. Which is really stupid. Like, I could have put money on this. Like, I've seen it on so many machines. I've got other laptops, Apple stuff. Some clearly from like a school or something like that have not been wiped. They've got CVs, they've got names, they've got all sorts. I'm just like, please, people, wipe your data. Like, I'm getting all Action Retro on this shit, you know. We won't look at that, but I do like the font he's got. He was clearly an upper class gentleman, you know. Let's at least have a look at what we've got. Pretty much knew it. 4 megabytes. That's it. That is, I mean, it's probably not the oldest. I'll have to check on that. I'll put a screenshot in afterwards. But that is old. I don't think he ever really upgraded this. That's insane. So let's have a quick look in the applications. This might be worth saving just for that. Apple backup, CD and audio player, at ease setup. Let's have a look at this. I mean, maybe he's got music on there somewhere. The Apple CD-ROM driver was not loaded at startup. Please be sure that at least one Apple CD-ROM drive is connected. Okay. Never mind. I do have a solution for that, but not quite yet. Claris works! Alright. This is like their office software or something? To Dixon's. Wait a second. This could have been used in an office. Like, someone was probably putting their personal stuff. Dixon's was a chain of like hi-fi and sort of like computer retail, like this all like white goods, this whole bunch of stuff. Basically, they are part of the same group that's got Curry's PC World, or used to have Curry's, which is like more of a white goods thing, and then PC World, which is all part of the same group. Dixon's did like hi-fi TV. There was a smattering of things. And then it went away, and then later on, Curry's and PC World just kind of mixed. So Curry's PC World does everything. It does the white goods, it does the cameras, it does PCs, laptops, hi-fi systems. I wonder if this was in use in one of those branches, and then someone, you know, when they had a bit of free time, you know, sent his CV around or put it on the system, or maybe the staff were hiring people and they put other people's CVs. I don't even want to know, really. It should have been deleted. This looks exactly like LibreOffice, where you get a choice of, you know, the word processor, the database stuff, spreadsheet, all that kind of stuff. Alright, so... yeah, that's pretty good. Nope. File. Quit. Alright, thanks very much. Alright, next up, let's have a look. You got HyperCard. You've got MS Word there, that's not so bad. Let's see what MS Word looked like back then. Oh, I remember. Oh, that logo. That is old. Wow, Word 6. So that is basically, yeah, it's like Word 95. This is like a bloody time capsule. Like, I'm going to be really devastated if this drive dies. Okay, and just because we can... Alright. Yeah, made it big. Alright, we're done with that. Oh, Mills and Boone. Ian CV? Yeah, this was the office machine. I think the staff were really careless. Having said that, I mean, I've actually worked in several places where data protection was, let's say, non-existent. This mouse is really bothering me, so I'm going to... There we go. It's just far too slow. Hang on. Very slow. What's fast? Oh, that kind of makes it not that much better. Yeah, it'll do fine. I guess this is all we've got. Now, it doesn't really show much else. I don't know what start is, so let's have a quick look at that. Ooh, Mac Draw and Super Paint. Which one do we do? Which one do we do? Yeah, we'll do that one. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's even gone into monochrome mode. Wow, that's old. Just because we can. Yeah, I tried. I mean, it didn't quite work out as well as I hoped it would, but hey, I tried. That's the main thing. Let's have a look at Mac Draw. Yeah, it's a drawing application, I guess. How old am I again? He's looking a little bit cocky there. I think we'll say goodbye to you. Teach text. Let's have a look at that. Oh, it's just a note-taking tool? I mean, it's just literally a notepad. I think. There's a thing called close view, and maybe it's for like accessibility, possibly. HyperCard. That's like Automator, isn't it? That's like an automation type thing. So I'm looking at information. DOS compatibility. Now, what is that? It's probably actually to do with like reading, just simply reading discs into your disk, and the contents of that disk will be automatically displayed on your Macintosh. That's fairly good, actually. I thought I would have to upgrade to like a much later version of the operating system. Is this just like a... yeah, it's just like a mini presentation. Okay. Why backup? Yeah, seriously? This is going to be so useful. Let's go through the finer points of why you should back up then, shall we? Your computer's hard disk comes with a lot of valuable information already stored on it, including system software and your application programs. There should probably be a slash in there, I'm nitpicking. You'll probably add many other important items to your hard disk, such as financial and tax records, letters, children's homework, and so on. You with me? Like any mechanical device, your computer's hard disk can become damaged. Sure it can. For instance, a power surge of electricity such as experienced during a power failure can harm the files stored in your disk. You getting this yet? Also, someone might accidentally edit or throw away an important file you want to keep, because people in the office are stupid. The best way to protect your files is to keep backup copies of them. It is a good habit to make an individual backup copy of every important file. A step so simple, and nobody does it. I have to punch someone now, but there's nobody here and I'm not punching myself. But the most important of all, you should regularly make a backup copy of all information on your hard disk. This is fantastic advice. Your Performa computer comes with Apple Backup, a program that makes it easy to back up your hard disk, and I can probably count on one hand how many times people actually use that. You can read about it on your Macintosh Performa, use it no point, they probably threw it away, yada yada yada. So the moral of your story, people, and I'm only going to say this goes right up there with the delete your data thing when you want to sell your machine on. Back up your data, because for someone like me who used to work for AppleCare, the task of explaining to them, sorry, your data's all gone, never goes well, and I'm always the one to blame. No, seriously, you have to safeguard your data. There's another mini rant for you. There's not really much else. I mean, there's this. I think that's... oh god, how many word processors do you actually need? Oh, go on, for the sake of completeness. There you go, I did it. There's documents, PGCE, I don't know what it's called in other countries, but this is like your teaching degree. Hang on, was someone just doing their teaching degree while working for Dixon's, or... I don't know, I mean, maybe this computer came from Dixon's and then somebody took it home because they were upgrading their systems? That is private, I'm not gonna look into that. we are really getting into the bowels of something here. I said I wasn't going to look into it, but so long as there's no personally identifiable information, I mean, I'll blur it, of course, I'll redact it. Star Wars character. Is this somebody's fan fiction? There's a name there. His name is Ian. I'm just going to redact the surname in case that's actually a real person. Is this like a D&D character type thing? I don't really understand. We've got some creative individuals here, I must say. Starship as well. Oh, wow. Oh, I feel really bad. Not looking at them necessarily, but this is someone's, like, drawings or something? Oh, I really don't want this hard drive to die. This has to be preserved. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna sort of seal this up now. So there's nothing much else there. There's covering letters for, wow, all kinds of stuff. That's really not for me to look at. Household, yeah. Okay, I mean, we've discovered what's there, which is not a whole hell of a lot. There's some files on there, but I think starting from scratch is going to be like a pretty good idea. It's really cool in many ways, and I would love to sort of save this as some kind of time capsule with all of the personal stuff removed. Before we go, actually, let's just test out the floppy drive. I've got a floppy here that I made up, and I'll just insert a shot on how I did that. I did it on my PowerBook G4 with a USB floppy. It's nothing special, it's just basically a commercial floppy I've had for years, which I've put Macintosh on. This will be a good test to see if the drive actually works, which I'm keen to have a check of. Oh yes. Ah, there it is. Well, that's interesting. The floppy works perfectly. Drag this to the desktop. Let's just do that. Ah, that's what C stands for. Self-extracting archive. Of course, you could have realised that, Stephen. Right, Macintosh. Where do I want to put this? Desktop. Because I don't want to mess up that lovely folder structure. Way. I do like that kind of message. Ah, it sits on the desktop. Of course it is. Ah, 9 megabytes. Do you know what? We can probably get some comparable results from the internet. Now just time to see if it actually ejects properly. Way! That's just fantastic. But yeah, let's shut this thing down and get to the upgrading. I always found it weird. To shut it down, you have to go to the special menu. And off we go. Upgrade time. Hold on a second. This video's gotten a little bit too long at this point. I spent a little bit too long looking over the machine, but I had a hell of a lot of fun. I mean, who knew that was there? So what I'm going to do is split this video into 2 pieces, and next video is going to be when we actually do the upgrades. But until then, if you like what you saw, like the video. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Subscribe, because it really does help the channel. I'm really trying to make a go of it. I know there's been a gap since the Ultimate XP machine. It is coming, it really is. I just haven't quite done a few things yet. There's also a few problems. So yeah, until the second half, best of luck with all your projects, and see you then.